And welcome back to part 3 of What If Naruto Had the Byakugan. Last time Naruto had beaten up Mizuki, Iruka had seen the Byakugan, he accepted Naruto for what it was, and Naruto, you graduate, hooray! So that's where we are. Real quick on the house cleaning, just a few things to address. Someone kept arguing, oh no, like they wouldn't have the balls to put the seal on Naruto, and then because they would have wound up, basically, if they had, a lot of people like Kakashi, Jiraiya, Third would have basically repeated the Uchiha massacre on the Hyuga clan. I'm like, no, they would not have. I'm sorry, no, they would have gotten severely punished, and a lot of Hyuga might have been executed or at the very minimum detained, but they would not have just massacred an entire clan for that action. They just would not have. The reason the clan got massacred because they were planning a coup d'etat and they were being left with very little choice. No, that's not what would happen with the Hyuga. That might be that makes good for a fanfic. It's not, but in terms of like what in theory would really happen, that does not work here. Now, with that said, another thing that got brought up, which is actually legitimate that I didn't think about at the point at the time when I did the video, was that one of the reasons Sarutobi probably also would forbid the seal being put on Naruto is because they have no idea how that type of seal would interact with the fox inside Naruto, particularly the seal that keeps the fox in Naruto. So the fact is, they have no idea how something like that would interact, and they do not want to take that risk. Lastly, though, someone brought up, and I want to see if I can find the actual quote, because first off, I'm only bringing this briefly because it was brought up, and I was going to address it, but then someone, again, you know what, kudos to the person who brought it up. I applaud you for actually having the wherewithal to actually be able to bring that up to this person. Is that Naruto would have what was it exactly they said? Oh, it might have been in part 1. Oh yeah, it's some stupid BS about chakra control. Naruto has the Byakugan and has been training with it for years now. If he still hasn't been able to perform the illusion jutsu, it's because Naruto has high chakra reserves, not your excuse that he doesn't have good chakra control. To which someone correctly pointed out the very high chakra reserves are tied to his poor chakra control because he has more chakra than he has control over it. It's harder to control. Like, literally, that is how chakra control works. Like, seriously. Again, it's easier to manipulate a small amount of something than it is to manipulate a large amount of something. The more you have of something, the harder it is to control that something. So, yeah. And there's the other person who brought up that. I was like, dude, I need to explain this now due to inconsistency. Hashi wouldn't have the balls to even attempt to put the cage seal on Naruto. Also, if the seal did get put on, the Hokage, Jiraiya, and Kakashi would easily pull an Itachi on the clan. To which I responded with, first off, I did note that Hashi brought it up, but honored his word not to do it. The Hyuga are arrogant enough to try it, though, especially some of the elders. And then wiping out the clan might have been a bit much. They would have been held to pay, though. And he then responded with Jiraiya would definitely go and F up Hayashi, though. I was like, no, he wouldn't. Let me be very clear. There would be a serious confrontation with the Hyuga clan. But there would not be anyone, like, straight up murdering anyone. That's just not how that would work. So just want to get that way. Last but not least, someone said, I think that with how Naruto is as a person, he might voluntarily get the seal to protect his dojutsu, which would indirectly protect the village. No, because Naruto hated the idea of the seal when he learned about it in the original series, when he learned it from Neji. He hated it. So I really do not see that happening either. I really don't. But again, with all that said, let's actually get into the story now. We're nearly 5 minutes in. So that's all the things I wanted to address. We cut now to the aftermath. Naruto is, all happy. He says, I don't want to ruin it until I don't want to wear it until graduation. I don't want to mess it up. Now, does Naruto still do the whole, I don't know. I wouldn't think he would, because even though he's definitely still a clown in the full, I think there's parts, especially knowing he has his heritage and, you know, he has some responsibility to that heritage, as well as protecting something that's very important. I don't think he would do that. I think I mean, he might pose in his photo, sure, but I don't think he'd do the whole face paint thing. I think he'd avoid doing that. So when him and the third are talking, the third, you know, looks at it like, if you want to just, I think the third basically is, I'd recommend taking this photo again, Naruto. Well, we can't accept this photo. We ninja missions are. This is the photo I do you for all the for the rest for a good long part of your career. If you wish that pose, how they this is how other villagers will see you. If you're not serious about this, it might detract them from accepting you or whatever team you're on from taking you as a client. Naruto does at least consider it. It's like, oh, and I think he grumbles because we do know he ultimately had to retake the photo. So even though I don't want to do it again, it is your choice, Naruto. To which it just fine. And then obviously Konohamaru shows up. I challenge you for the role of the third Hokage or fourth or fifth Hokage. Sorry. You tricked me, and so that interaction happens. Ebisu, you know, glares at Naruto. I still think Naruto does smack his ass around though. I think this Naruto still because it is more than willing to boom smash him on the head. Now, this guy's different. I don't care if he's your grandmother. Believe it. I still love that joke I did with that fourth. It's like, yeah, scared because the third Hokage is my grandfather. Yeah, well, the fourth Hokage is my dad. So what are you gonna do? Shit, he pulled rank. I still like that joke I did. But yeah, so they really have their basic interaction. I don't even think Naruto even pulls out the Byakugan in Ebisu. I think he just does his tomfoolery bit because I think he still invents the Sekshi Jutsu. It's just he doesn't show it up. He particularly doesn't use it around Hinata because he's not trying to because he has respect for his friend. So yeah, there's that the whole NBC thing the same. Beyond that, the only thing that would happen is Naruto is again working more and more on his chakra control and his training. Now, someone did bring up that his chakra control should be greater because he has the Byakugan. Having the Byakugan itself, and because he's part Hyuga, who naturally have good chakra control and who work on harder on it. So having any Kekkei Genkai, basic or otherwise, does not inherently mean you have good chakra control. You still have to work on that kind of stuff. The Hyuga do naturally have good chakra control, I think, because of the way they use their Byakugan. However, the Hyuga heritage on Naruto's side is probably on the diluted end of the pool, because as we said, Minato did not, or they say in this, Minato never demonstrated the Byakugan, even though he was clearly part Hyuga, which means at minimum, Minato was at best half Hyuga. So that means that Naruto is now a quarter Hyuga with 50% Uzumaki and 75%, 50% and 25% whatever Minato was. I mean, Naruto was still very much Uzumaki, but and that was the thing that definitely got transferred over was that huge amount of vitality and chakra reserves. The fact that we've now diluted the Hyuga gene 2 generations means that even though he's got the Byakugan, a lot of those benefits from the Hyuga bloodline that may involve chakra control are on the waning side. That is not to say, however, that he has piss poor chakra control like he did in the original. Like I said, one of the things he's been practicing with is, training with chakra control because of the Byakugan and because of his huge reserves. I would be willing to bet he has the tree walking exercise down at this point. I'd be willing to bet that. That's probably one thing like Ko basically said, try that. You and Hinata, try this exercise. One of the things he can't do though is just, at least not to any very effective degree, is he can't really do the gentle fist fighting style in the same way like a Hyuga can. He can do it with an open palm. He can't do it with his fingers. Because one of the things he's been practicing with is his unique version of it, which is, like I said, kind of like a shotgun style of, where just throwing out chakra, Kind of like Hit does, honestly. Although there is the vacuum palm as well, which actually Naruto could theoretically stumble upon, and we might have him do later on, because he has wind as his natural chakra element, and that in theory could easily translate to a version of the vacuum palm. But right now, it's more that he's delivering a giant strike of chakra with a fist. He is figuring out, though, he can do it with a closed palm, although that is a bit more, he needs to train with it more, because if you've ever tried to do that versus a fist, by the way, if you've ever actually punched someone in real life and you're not a trained fighter, you know how much that can actually hurt your hand. But if you've ever tried throwing a punch, that's one thing. Boom. Okay. But you try throwing a palm, that's different. You're hitting a lot more thinned out surface, not absorbing it with bone, and your hand is already straight. If you hit too hard, you could push your hand back and really hurt it. So Naruto's practicing with that, but he's finding it's a little bit more difficult. So he's got to, keep training with it more. Still training with his fist, though. And he has the Shadow Clone now, so he doesn't really have any use for learning the Clone Jutsu. Although I still think he practices it just to see where his chakra control has come along. I think that by the time the actual team selection has come around, he is actually capable of creating one clone. Like one legitimate, perfect, actual clone. But only one. Because again, Naruto... And the problem with Naruto and chakra control is, because of the way the seal for the fox is designed, it's constantly leaking the fox's chakra into Naruto's reserve. So, along with natural training to increase his chakra reserve, his reserve is constantly growing at a steady rate because the fox's chakra is getting absorbed in there. Whenever you see Naruto, he actually always has more chakra than when you saw him last. That is the monumentally weird thing about that. So, chakra control is extremely difficult for Naruto. And it's something he kind of has to keep on constant vigilant lookout for. Sorry, I'm noticing fraying not. I don't have a hole in my pants, thank God, but I was like just feeling around, like that is thinner than I want that to be. So I should probably get new pants soon. The problem is I'm a unique pant size, so it's a little difficult to go pants shopping for me. When I cash my check tomorrow, maybe on Wednesday when I have a day off, I'll try to find me some damn pants. I will do this, damn it. Anyway, I digress. So the day comes, Naruto's there, and he's happy. He's got his headband on. And he sits in his normal spot, which is not near, well, normal spot is relative. But he sits around where he normally sits with Hinata. Because as they're each other's best friends, they probably actually sit together. So him and Hinata are like chilling out. He's giggling and he's laughing. And he was like, "You did pass after all." It's like, "Yep, sure did. Sure did. And Ruka passed me after an incident with Mizuki." "Wait, you were part of that?" It's like, "Yep, yeah, I was. Man, it wasn't fun either, but I took care of the guy, no problem, because I'm me." And Hinata's just it's like she has a little bit of a blush on, but whatever. And so they're talking, and Shikamaru over here is like, "Naruto, what are you doing here? This isn't the place for dropouts. You see, this is a regulation headband. We're gonna be trained together, huh? Cool, right?" And so forth and so on. You get the Sakurino thing, but now you don't get Naruto in the middle of that. They're just like, I'm sitting aside, Sasuke, blah, 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 blah. To which they actually could sit together. They actually could both sit near him anyway. Actually, Sasuke, why don't you move in the middle? We could both sit next to you. That's right, we could. It's like, no, I'm good where I am. It's like, oh, I'm sitting next to that. I'm sitting next to blah, 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 blah. Into which they're all just like, why are they so obsessed with him? It's like, he's the Chia, Elastic Chia. Maybe that's what it's about. Oh man, who cares about that? I mean, just because we both are part of the Hyuga, just because you're part of the Hyuga and I saw the Byakugan, the Night of the Byakugan doesn't make us any better than them. It's like, I don't know. Honestly, I just don't think they take themselves that seriously as ninja. That's not good. They really should be. I mean, these are jobs where we can get hurt and we can die. They're not going to take that seriously. Well, I mean, they're not going to last. Yeah, good point. And the Kushikiba said, "Naruto, what are you doing here? This isn't a place for job routes." Oh, God. It's like, are we going to do this all day? It's like, yeah, Naruto said he passed. Whatever, not that I care. It's a big drag anyway. So then Naruto comes in, and he announces the teams. Now, big question time. is Naruto going to be on a different team? Because I'm certain multiple conversations have been had with Naruto in the third about when is Naruto going to be able to show off his Byakugan, let people know he has the Byakugan. And Naruto, the third's like, you will not be able to hide this forever, that's for certain. But at least you must wait until at least after your teams are selected, and that after that you'll be an official ninja of this village. It will be out of my hand. The Hyuga already know about it, but it'll be up to you. After that, you have my permission to reveal your secret, but only after you've officially become a ninja. And so, Naruto's like, after this, at least I'll let my teammates know. And I'm sure the team was decided with the idea that Naruto still has the Byakugan. But I don't see anything changing, because the only one you could really rotate out isn't Kiba, it'd be Hinata. They both have the Byakugan, so they'd both be able to be like trackers. But unfortunately, Hinata's just had more time with the Byakugan than Naruto is. Add on the fact that even though it is sexist sounding, they seem to go with a 2-guy, 1-girl team structure, at least initially. So, as sexist as that sounds, that seems to be the style they do it. At least that's how Kishimoto designed it. Is Kishimoto? Yeah, Kishimoto. I always do Kubo, Kishimoto, and Akira Toriyama. I always get those guys mixed up, but it's Kishimoto. That's how he designed it. So, and the idea that a Sharingan and the Byakugan being on the same team whenever Sasuke awakens his is an appealing idea probably to them. So Naruto is still on, team 7. Naruto Uzumaki, huh? Sakura Haruno. Oh no, I'm doomed. And Sakura's like, I'm doomed. And to which Naruto, surprisingly, is like, oh, cool. It's like, oh, Sakura's going to be on team. Sakura's just like, I'm doomed. Because as much as Naruto is maybe a little bit more aware of the world, a little bit more mature, a little bit more understanding of certain areas, he is still very much Naruto. He's still very much the class clown. Having the Byakugan doesn't change his way he is in class at all. I don't know why I'm doing that. I like trying to start a car. But he's not any different otherwise. So she still sees him as an annoying kid. Let me backtrack on that. She does see him as annoying and as a disruptor, but he's not as bad in this as he, at least in her mind, as she is in the original, because he doesn't bug her for dates or anything like that. He's not constantly hounding her for attention like he was originally. Still, she's like, oh no, this is not good. And Sasuke Uchiha, hooray, I win! To which Naruto's like, oh, well, this is not, why am I going to be on this guy's team? What? To which they say, which I would say, does Naruto outburst like he does originally? Probably not. At least doesn't. Maybe he doesn't more. At least a little bit more time. So, Iruka Sensei, can I ask a question? Why am I on team with why is that the way? Why am I on a team? Why aren't I on that team with those two? Why are we? How are the teams made up? I don't get it. Is it? Well, we have to balance. We have to take individual skills in the equation. We also have to balance out the scores in your academic exams. Sasuke had the best scores. Naruto, I'm sorry to say, you had the worst scores. So we put the best and the worst together. It's like, fine. Just don't get him. To which Sasuke probably doesn't say anything to say, because Naruto's all the way up in the nosebleeds. All right, it's like, and to which Sakura though probably just say, no, come on, Naruto, shut up, Naruto. We don't need any of that. It's like, oh no, this is not going to be good. To which, yeah, it's not. So now go have lunch, hang out with your respected teens. And Naruto at least tries to be civil. Probably do a little encouragement by Hinata. Like, let's try to get along with them. I mean, they're your teammates after all, so you're going to have to be working with us. Good point. I guess I'll try. Hey, Sakura, you want to have lunch or something? I mean, we're a team, so I just thought it would be, cool to get to, we should get to know each other. No, it's like, no, why would I want to have lunch with you? Look, gotta find Sasuke, okay? It's like, what? Like, seriously, what? And because he overhears her, you just said the exact same thing, because I imagine he could overhear her, because he's got good hearing. He overheard her trying to, and asked her, you were just asking Sasuke the same thing. Well, yeah, because I want to get to know Sasuke. I don't want to get to know you. To which Naruto's like, fine. See, this is when Naruto's personality is a little bit more divergent, because even though he's a prankster still, even though he's tricky, and even though he's willing to like pull a prank now and then, one of the big reasons he swapped places with Sasuke was because he wanted to get close to Sakura and all that. But here it's like he doesn't have that crush on Sakura, so it really does change how he reacts to certain scenarios like this. And here's like, fine, you know what? I'm gonna go find Hinata. Maybe I'll at least get to know her team. And, you know, he goes and he quickly, you know, scans, finds her. He's like, hey, guys. He's like, oh, Naruto, what are you doing here, Naruto? Shouldn't you be lunch with your own team? Yeah, my team doesn't really give a rat's ass about me. Naruto. Hey, look, I tried. I tried. I heard Sakura ask Sasuke if she wanted to have lunch. And he turned her down, so I thought I'd offer. And she just said, you know, she wanted to get to know him, not me. To which Kiba now flips a little bit, instead of like saying why Naruto's there. He's actually like, God, what are they so saying? I know, right? Like, look, I get it. He's the best in the class and all that. I'm sorry you were treated that way by your team, Naruto, especially because you'll have to be working with them. I hope things will work out. But you're welcome to, if it's okay with, but if Hinata like accepts you, you're more than welcome to eat lunch with us. It's like, yeah, I mean, I won't lie. I find you so annoying sometimes, but you're also good for your lads sometimes too. So yeah, come on, eat lunch with us. And so Naruto chills and eats with teammate. I can honestly see that happening. Some people who actually don't mind his company. And so they enjoy themselves, have a good time. Naruto unfortunately has to go to the restroom, but whatever. It's like, oh, God. And to which Kiba's like, oh, ooh. Is it Kiba? Yeah. He's probably not going to be back for a while. Oh, dear. It's like, oh, he probably must have eaten something that didn't agree with him. And so after the fact, Naruto is hanging out with a teammate, and before Kurenai comes and gets them, and now he's late, and so Naruto does do the whole Chakra racer up on the door thing, and ultimately is just waiting and hits Kakashi in the head. My first impression of you is you're a bunch of idiots, and so Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke go up to the top of the roof. Sasuke gives his spiel about what he likes, what he hates. Sakura's is probably the same, minus the fact I don't know if she'll put Naruto under the thing she hates. She doesn't like him. Hate him is probably a little too strong. She may, what do you hate? It's like people who judge people by their looks because we're for it. I could see that. And people who just decide to be annoying. Like, she does maybe throw shade at Naruto, but again, the whole annoying thing is just her perspective, and the fact is she's really not being fair. Because I bash on Sakura sometimes more often than I should probably, but part one Sakura really was just not a good, well written. They gave her some growth, like in the Forest of Death arc, they gave her some growth, but that was not a likely, likably written character. She was hard to like in part one. She worked out a lot better in part two, but they still made mistakes with her. Enough said. When Naruto because he's the first one though. When Naruto goes, I like eating ramen, trying new ramen. Plus, I like my friends and training, trying to hone my abilities to get stronger. And my dream is to be Hokage. Yeah. So there you go. And Kakashi obviously knows that he is what he has. And I should note, Naruto does recognize Kakashi. I should know. They say, wait, you're Kakashi. Wait, you're Kakashi? I recognize you. Oh, it's good to see you again, Naruto. But what was this about? I never learned your name. I'm sorry. So, even though it's like, well, then my first impression of you guys is you're a bunch of idiots. Although I've met Naruto once or twice. Not really helping your case here, Naruto. You're not really playing here, Naruto. I actually had to remember that. I had already introduced Kakashi to Naruto earlier. So there you go. Yeah, it's still not much different, but except the fact that Kakashi does know that Naruto has the Byakugan. And so there, you're all unique with your own personality. So meet me at Training Ground 7 tomorrow at this time. And then he explains the test, all that, and he's like, oh man, I can't be let back. Believe it, I gotta pass this test. And so, yeah, I don't eat anything or you'll puke. And so they meet up at Training Ground 7, and yeah. The only thing that's different here is that Naruto doesn't mock Kakashi, because he's met Kakashi. Kakashi saved his butt a few times. He likes Kakashi, actually. And he knows that he's strong too. So this version of Naruto also wouldn't necessarily underestimate him too, because he's already seen Kakashi in action at least once, and so he knows. And so Naruto does think about telling them, but the fact is, if they don't want to cooperate with him and try to bond with him, he's not gonna do that either, which is unfortunate on both sides. And so, all right, on you ready? Begin. And Hajime. And so they go and hide. And that is where we're going to end part 3 with the bell test underway. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, want to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.